Footy highlights for Vic Super. Get super active with Vic Super.
Did well, good pressure, Burgoyne. He got the handball to Fantasia, kicks around the body. What a goal! Kicking to the city end. Jared Ruffhead drills the goal, dead centre. And they come from everywhere. In fact, every Hawthorn player gets the Ruffhead. And a handball now off to Stanton from 50, driving kick, and he's kicked it. So Brett Stanton kicks a goal. Comes back towards Ruffhead, held a long time in the tackle. No free kick, comes to Bruce, left foot snaps a goal. It's a beauty. Sicily almost. Snap from Fantasia. It's a beauty. Fantasia's kicked his fourth. Hamilton McKernan, who has a fine shot for goal. Outside 50, and he's kicked it.
Well, sounds pretty exciting to me. We hope you're enjoying the coverage here tonight. We've been enjoying ourselves, and at the moment, it's a good scoreboard. Essendon 12-12-84, Hawthorn at 10-14-74. Here's Mark Bickley with his thoughts.
Yeah, one of the things that we're really looking forward to is what's the leadership going to do without some of those guys we've just come to expect. We talked about last year, the Hawks won 5 close games. Blokes like Lewis and Mitchell and Hodge, we just expect them to take control of those games when they get tight. They're not there. It'll be interesting to see how Jared Ruffhead, we know he's a star. Sean Burgoyne, Birchall, they've still got some experience out there. But what about the next wave? Is it going to be Liam Shields? Is it going to be Isaac Smith? Those players are going to get an opportunity tonight to see if they can stand up and pull this one from the fire. They're 12 points behind at three-quarter time. There's still plenty of work to go. And, of course, the question on the other side of the page is, can the Bombers, in particular the ones that have missed a year of footy, how's their conditioning going to be? We talked about Cale Hooker looking a bit tired and that he had to have a spell that quarter just to catch his breath. Will they be able to run this game out? So, it's going to be an exciting last quarter.
Yeah, Michael Warner, he was standing up, doing some work, peering through the dugouts. What did you find out?
Well, Lordy said to keep an eye on those band players coming back. Hurley, Heppel and Stanton all spent a lot of time on the bench late in that quarter, so they'll be fresh.
So final quarter about to get underway. The Bombers lead by 10 points. McKernan wins it down towards Goddard. His handball was too fierce for his teammate. It's picked up again by Goddard. This time, a good handball to McKernan. Handball forward to the play to Watson. Jams it on the boot. It'll land 20 from goal. Where's Hooker? Had it fisted away. Ball track into the line. Heppel with an opportunity. A snap, and it's a goal. Heppel's kicked a goal. Brilliant start in this final quarter by the Bombers. Another goal of the night for Pancake Parlour.
Lovely.
He tracked to the boundary line, gathered just inside, left foot snap across his body, and Essendon have 13-12-90 now. Hawthorn 10-14-74, the margin back out to 16 points on the KFC scoreboard. Early going, final term.
He's been important tonight. He's gone forward, Dyson Heppel. 2 goals in the last half, and that's a real confidence lifter, isn't it? Gets them out in front now, and gee, I'll tell you what, if they can get this crowd involved in it, it's a pro Bombers crowd. If they get them up and firing, I think they can run away with it.
Australia 8 for 293 against India in the 4th test, the deciding test. Ball knocked out. This is a deciding test. Goddard dacked as he got the hand pass out. Gleeson, who's been a little bit shaky, kicks the ball forward over the top of Langford. Running the opposite direction is Henderson. On the burst, a hand pass to Burgoyne. He gets it back in a 1-2, Henderson. And from the wing, he kicks the ball to half forward, but he misses Bruce. And it is Gleeson again. He's at left half back for the Bombers. 90 plays 74. 16 points is the margin. Our last quarter scoreboard, the KFC scoreboard here on 3AW Footy. As the Bombers just steady, they've slowed the tempo. Oh, McKernan, he looked up before he had it twice. He gets tackled, should have been pinged and wasn't. In the end, Mitchell, clean. Got it off to Burgoyne. His pass, not great. Kelly put the one hand up, can't mark like that. Bagley at ground level did well, slapped it out to Kelly. Kelly then swings the ball to a man who pushed back to help, and that was Gleeson. He goes to Hurley. Hurley wants to move it on quickly. There was some urgency in the kick, and he found Fantasia. Tipping Woody through the corridor.
He does from the front of the centre square. He drives it to the goal square. Hooker at the back. Hooker at the back is marked. He's plucked it out of Frawley's hands. And Hooker will go back. Now, he's only 6 metres from goal, but he's been put on an acute angle in the right forward pocket. Will he run around on the left boot and just poke this through, Lordy?
He's setting up that way, but I've rarely seen him use his left foot before, so this could...
Left foot snap is a goal. and he loves it. Couple of big fist pumps from Cale Hooker. He's kicked 3. And the Bombers have the only 2 goals in this final quarter, and they're out to a 22-point advantage on the KFC scoreboard. Essendon 14-12-96, Hawthorn 10-14-74. We've played just 3 minutes final term. Still plenty of time for the Hawks, but gee, they'll need to turn things around, Mark Bickley.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hawthorn have been opened up a number of times tonight. That's another coast-to-coast goal. It was a play from deep inside defensive 50. Hurley was able to switch play, and they just used the corridor again. McDonald, Tip and Woody, I love the way he goes about it. He grabs it, he runs and carries. It wasn't a great kick, but it gave Hooker an even chance, and he just was able to edge him underneath it and take a mark.
Gold Coast first 2 goals at Metricon in this third quarter as the ball is kicked forward by Burgoyne. He goes to the pocket. Hartley tried to knock the ball away. He holds on to Mitchell. He tried to soccer the ball, but Bagley arrives. Timely. Hand pass to Hurley. Back to Bagley. Now to Gleeson. Defensive 50. Kicks the ball along the line. Finds Collier. And nice fast movement. 5-5-35 the Gold Coast now. Brisbane are 11-3. At the moment, my tipping, I'm 0-4 tonight. Going brilliant as the ball goes across the face of goal. Hopefully everyone's the same.
Yeah, you're not Robinson Crusoe.
We're all going bad, but it's good for the comp, isn't it? As Goddard has the ball. He retreats. They can do this, Kelly. Now Hurley. Just runs some time down. Nice, comfortable lead. 22 points, still inside defensive 50, the Bombers. Now they're out, and McKernan jogs up to the ball, been really important.
Yeah.
Passes the ball to Parrish, who's lively. Kicks the ball to Hawthorn and Green in his debut game for the Bombers since crossing down from Brisbane. How have you seen him? Green?
Green, okay. Well, he hasn't been, just the 9 disposals, yet hit the scoreboard.
Just looking at Bagley now coming off the ground. We'll get Mickey Warner and have a look at him.
So a boundary throw in. McKernan beaten by Vickery. Ball loose. Zaharakis tries to grab it. Couldn't. McKernan knocks it on, but only as far as O'Meara. Gets the handball to Smith. Handball to Burgoyne on centre wing. Handball further afield to Shields. One step. Has to kick it high. Target down there was Mitchell. Had it fisted away. Chance now for Merritt, who's been outstanding. Kick into the corridor. Beautifully positioned. Precise kick to Heppel, who hits the ground running. Switches the play to Cole Langford. He's got runners to the outside. Loose player Stanton. Half forward. 70 from goal. Chip kick towards the lead of Hooker. Couldn't take it. McDonald, Tip and Woody front and centre. Got the handball to Hooker from 45. He's missed to the left. Wow, that would have been some sort of roar if he had kicked out of behind only. The margin is 23 and Hawthorn quick to bring it back into play.
That would have been the sealer. He's just missed it. They get one more here with all the momentum of the Bombers.
Yep.
They're coming the other way now, the Hawks. They need a goal badly. Mitchell off to Gibson, the veteran. Kicks the ball to the half-forward flank. Poppy held.
Free kick every day of the week.
Against Hartley. Saying, come on, was there every day, as Christo said, every day of the week. Leading up Roost, and he has taken the mark.
Now, Lordy, we see Hawthorn last year. They won so many games by such a tight margin. They were behind in games, and they found a way somehow. Are they going to do it again tonight against your Bombers?
Well, the man in the box at the moment on the Yarra Valley Total replay giving Clarko instructions. Luke Hodge, you want him out there, not talking the coach. So without the 3 big guns, I can't see them doing it.
Well, this is the biggest lead in the game right now, 23 points, as Bruce has missed.
Doesn't help.
1 goal, 1 for Bruce tonight, and the scoreboard, Hawthorn 10-15-75 to Essendon's 14-13-97 KFC scoreboard.
And just, I think, the defence, Frawley, Gibson, they've looked undersized. Stratton and Hodge, third man up. He does it so often, they've really missed him.
Short kick into Stanton, who kicks it long down the line to Danaher. Had it fisted away by Schoenmakers, playing in defence. And over for a boundary throw in 60 metres around from the Hawthorn goal at left half forward.
Mick Warner, any news on Bagley down there?
Yeah, it's just a cramp, guys. He'll be back.
Thanks, Mick. So a boundary throw in. McKernan's done a power of work against Vickery. McKernan wins it, but only as far as Vickery. Got the handball to Smith, who wobbles the one towards the goal square. Gleeson back there. Did well to maintain his composure. Paddle towards Kelly. Look out. James are in trouble, but he got the handball to Hartley. Handball out to Ambrose, and a handball to McGrath, the first gamer. Now McKernan has to sit and wait. Couldn't take it. Good spoil from Vickery. Vickery first to recover. Handball to Mitchell. Handball to Smith, 60 from goal. Kicks it inside the attacking 50, and mark taken. O'Meara has marked 30 from goal, directly in front. for Hawthorn.
Yeah, well, they're starting to press now, aren't they? They haven't made any headway on the scoreboard, but they've had a number of opportunities. Bruce missed one. Now O'Meara's got a chance. This one here, much easier. 30 metres out, directly in front.
So he's kicked 2 behinds O'Meara. The margin stands at 22. This to get it to 16 and give the Hawks a big sniff. We've only played 8 minutes final term. O'Meara comes in, drop punt. Oh, he's missed it. He sprayed it to the right. And a behind only to the Hawks. Gee, paying him a lot of money. That is not a great outcome. The margin is 21 points now in favour of the Bombers. 8 played in this final term on the KFC scoreboard.
3 behinds tonight for O'Meara.
Well, if it was 3 goals, the margin wouldn't be much, would it? That's the difference between good kicking and poor kicking, although I could apply that to a couple of Bombers. Danaher, as the ball gets kicked, there's one. Downfield, Schoenmakers has jumped in front of the pack. Well, he's brought it on himself doing those little tricky ones, Danaher. Ball back to the corridor, Birchall. And he puts it in reverse from the centre. He kicks the ball long. Roughhead up in front. Hartley a big spoil. At the front it's Gibson. He tried to get around, he couldn't. Through came Green, knocked it down. Parrish left it behind. Burrowing in Gibson, and eventually it's held up. Attacking 50 for the Hawks at centre-half forward.
Just, it was almost, wasn't it? It was just got a hand in there, the Bombers. They nearly took it away. You just feel as if when they burst forward, they're going to be hard to stop.
Another goal to Gold Coast, but one to Brisbane. So it's 75-41, 34-point lead still to Brisbane in the third quarter. Early going, 9 minutes. Ball back into the middle of the ground here with a quick kick out of the congested area. And it's going to be a free kick. It'll go the way of the Bombers. Collier, he kicks it in short. Watson over the top. Merritt's kick is a flat punt towards his teammate McDonald. Tippenwoody. And Tippenwoody is on about a 70-degree angle, and he's going to have a shot.
He was just standing there by himself. I don't know that Hawthorn saw him, and all of a sudden when the ball comes in his direction, they realised he was standing in the pocket in front of the MCC member stand mix.
Well, he started on the wing, so he broke hard forward, and I think his man had to go towards Job Watson to try and cut him off, and he was out on his own.
Well, he kicked 4 goals in his last pre-season match in the JLT Community Series, and he has almost made the distance. Danaher tries one over the shoulder, and eventually it's spiked through for a rush behind to the Bombers. 14-14-98, plays 10-16-76 on the KFC scoreboard.
Zach Merritt hardly wasted a disposal tonight. He's been magnificent.
So 10 played in this final term, and the margin stands at 22 points as Birchall kicks right down the middle towards Sicily. Couldn't take it. Shields could. Brilliant handball to Smith. They're out here. Smith kicks a spiral torpedo to a Bacon. Attacking 50. Getting back a chance. It's going to bounce through for a goal perhaps. Oh! It's a goal. No, it's touched.
Finger.
Oh, gee, I'd love to have a look at that again.
Line ball.
Oh, gee, I reckon Smith almost kicked the goal there.
From the centre circle.
From the centre circle. It wasn't. It was a behind. Oh, I'd love to look at that on the Yarra Valley Toyota replay screen, but the Bombers are able to bring it out. The mark's taken by Hurley at half-back, and he kicks it promptly out on the full. So it's a Hawthorn free kick, the attacking side of the wing.
Well, we'll get another look at it shortly, I'm sure, but we know what it officially is. It's play on. It's a behind. Good spike down by Bruce. Opportunity down there for Sicily. He's at a dirty night, and he's beaten this time. Merritt using the ball beautifully to Green. Man out on the wing, Collier. He's a racehorse too. Can he get around his opponent out there? And he's going to take him on. He has a bounce. Chasing hard, Frawley. Well done. Cut him off. Good effort by the big man to cut Collier down. He won a foot race at the grand final. Does a big pirouette, a circle. Collier hand pass to himself. Frawley ran him down. Won the footy, the big man. And that is play of the night right there. They've won the ball back, the Hawks. Hartung. Hand pass the ball over the top. It comes back Stratton, working with Birchall. Back to Hartung. Round in a circle to get out of trouble. Now a nice pass to Sicily.
Sicily, a handball off to Mitchell. Sweeping handball to get to Langford. Langford to Hawthorn. Kick towards 4-foot. Hurley in the way. He takes the mark. Chips it wide into the pocket. McGrath. What have you made of his performance, Matty?
McGrath, brilliant. You couldn't have asked more of the debutant. And just on Will Langford, it's why he'll go in and out of the side. Just he had Burgoyne on for a certain goal and he missed it.
Parrish hits Goddard. Goddard hits Green. 60 from goal. He cuts inboard to centre half forward. Handball to Danaher. Danaher steadies from 30 and kicks the goal. to Joe Danaher. And the margin is out to 27 points. The Bombers on the KFC scoreboard, 15-14, 104. Hawthorn 10-17, 77. 13 played, grey white clock, final quarter.
The Hawthorn defence has been in disarray at times tonight. That one there, Danaher, it was a 4-on-1. He decided to kick the goal himself, but there was players everywhere, and the Hawks have just been caught out so many times. I know they're trying to attack now because they feel like they have to score to win, but they were just caught out. They got forward to the ball and they just got exposed over the back.
That's how you kick goals with that porn star moustache. That's how you do it. Just drill them hard and flat and straight, Lloydie.
Yeah, that's right. If only, yeah, it's right. He's got to try and kick on the run with his set shot kicking, trying to try and change something. But Chriso, what do you make of that on the Yarra Valley Total replay? Do you think it was a goal to Isaac Smith?
I reckon it might. Here it is again.
Touch.
I don't reckon he touched it.
Yeah.
I reckon it was a goal.
I reckon it was behind his leg. Now let's go downstairs. So Michael Warner, what's happened?
It's a blood rule. Tyrone Vickery's off, McAvoy on. Surely they do stop the play though, Chriso, and have a good look at that before they go to play on.
Well, surely they. I mean, the umpire chose not to review it.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous.
He was right. That's why. Come on,
No,
leave him
he
alone.
wasn't.
Ball back in the middle of the ground. Look at the scoreboard. I'm telling you, he's right. Here's the ball. Opportunity in the hands of O'Meara. He goes out to the wing. Sicily chasing after the footy. It bounces high in the air. Moves, ducks, got out of it too. Has a bounce. Oh, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Eventually. He ran a fair way. Kicks the ball inside 50. Goddard there with Bruce. Double-handed pat by Goddard. Now it's back in the hot spot. 20 out from the Hawks' goal. Working in there is Gunston. He let it go for Bruce. Bruce to Burgoyne. Burgoyne to Roughhead. And he snaps. That's a great effort by Ruffy.
Wow.
That is a goal of the day for Pancake Parlour.
Lovely.
High Point, Doncaster and Melbourne East.
Well, they're not going to go away, the Hawks, we know that. Good work by Sicily. Haven't called his name a whole lot tonight, but he took it upon himself to take the game on. He ran, he had a bounce, shot a good turn of speed, got it in deep, and then the Bombers just had a couple of chances to clear it, couldn't do it. Got flicked out the back to Roughhead and just on one step, just had the hook around the body, really tight angle and did it well.
Just got nothing out of a few key players. I'm watching Jack Gunston on the wing and 13 disposals. Usually see him have multiple shots, yet to have a shot for goal tonight. And Rioli and Piopolo have been really, really quiet. Rioli just one touch in this last quarter.
KFC scoreboard, margin now 21 points in favour of the Bombers from the centre square, taken away by Parrish, kick towards full forward, poorly directed, Stratton in the way. Handball off to Henderson, twisting and turning, handball back to Girais, been quiet, under pressure. He kicks it back towards centre half back, coming in. Oh, Heppel in from the side. Heppel in from the side has marked strongly. And that's got to be a contender for the mark of the night. All thanks to Robot Building Supplies. The man on the mark stands at 47. He'll need to kick at 51. Angle only slight. Kicking to the city end. And
Brendan Goddard's giving plenty of advice. First he wanted to get the handball out of a shot, then he wanted him to pass it off.
So he comes in from 51. The drop part, has it got the distance? You bet it has. Goal to Essendon. 3 to Heppel in an outstanding performance. And Essendon, every time Hawthorn looked like working their way back into it, the Bombers respond. 16-14, 110. Hawthorn 11-17, 83. 16 played in this final term on the KFC scoreboard. KFC's $2.50 chips and gravy. Finger licking good.
I wonder if Dyson said to Brendan, I've got this under control, mate. I think I know what I'm doing here. I tell you what, it was great work by McDonald Tippenwoody. He actually put enough pressure on to force the kick just to be a hack kick out. You look at Girais, he was under real pressure, just bobbed it up in the air, and it was a great mark by Heppel. It was 1-on-2, ran eyes only for the ball and took a great chest mark and then kicked it beautifully.
I think I read his lips, so you were captain, I am now. Just leave it to me. I'll show you the way home. Let's see what happens. First to 100 points, 12 goals or less. Both of those scenarios on the scoreboard. Here they go again. Out the middle through Parrish. Into the path of Tippenwoody. McDonald Tippenwoody. He got bumped at the opportune moment. And Girais coming the opposite way. That run beautifully, didn't it? As he hand passes back to half-back. Stratton goes in short to Gunston. How's Gunston's stats, boys?
Just the 13 disposals. Hasn't registered a score.
Unlikely, you would have thought, coming into the game. 51-33 last year. He goes to Henderson. First game since crossing from Adelaide. Now a chance for Hawthorn, chasing is Danaher. Here he goes, Danaher. Hawthorn dodging and weaving. Good pressure by Danaher. Causes the turnover. And Zaharakis, beautiful pass to Watson, who's been a little bit quiet since halfway through the third quarter. Kicks the ball downfield and finds Parrish.
He's been busy last quarter. Parrish now drives it long towards half forward. In the way, Gunston stands firm. So he marks inside defensive 50, kicks wide. Oh, Bruce perhaps could have gone harder at that, Matty Lloyd.
Yeah.
Comes to the back to Sicily. Handball to Bruce. A little left foot dabbing kick is effective. Mark taken by Langford on the wing. He kicks laterally towards the side of the centre square to Smith, who plays on, delivers beautifully to Burgoyne. Burgoyne turns from 45 and misses. 1 point missing to the near side. Nothing going right for the Hawks. And the margin now is 26 points. 18 played in this final term on the KFC scoreboard. The Bombers 16-14, Hawthorn 11-18.
It's interesting, isn't it? Only one scoring shot the difference there, so 30-29. Just been really wasteful in front of goal, the Hawks.
Poor kicking's poor footy, Bix. You've heard it for years. Every coach has told you. As Heppel hooks the ball towards the wing, Tippenwoody in front. Over the top came Frawley, knocks the ball down. Gunston the crumb. Hand pass to Frawley. Hand pass to Shields. Hand pass to Stratton. Stratton should kick and does in short to Langford, who's still 70 from home. And he's at left half forward for the Hawks. They need the next goal. They need probably the next three to be a chance of winning. Big pack flies and it's off hands and through for only a rush behind. So they sneak one closer. That's it. 11-19-85 to 16-14, 110. KFC scoreboard, $2.50 chips and gravy. Finger licking good.
Short kick comes in, mark taken by Heppel. Still inside defensive 50. Handball to McGrath, who's provided the run. He handballs or dodgy one to Watson, who did well enough to kick it wide to McKernan. Well done by Gibson. But McKernan infringed, according to the umpire, on Gibson, and fair enough. And Gibson will take it, the attacking side of the wing. 13-5 plays 7-5. Just 6 goals in it. Brisbane in front, so Gold Coast making a small impression 19 minutes into the third quarter. Hawthorn at the MCG have it in the corridor. Mark taken by Smith. Now he plays on very quickly. Driving kick from Smith. It'll land 20 from goal. They go up, ball to the bat. Here's a chance for Gleeson. Needs to be clean. Fell over. Oh, he's hatching it. He could be in trouble here, Gleeson.
Yep, paid it.
Holding the ball, has he?
Yep.
And Poppy eats these for breakfast. The perfect spot for him to just run around on his right foot.
So he's only, well, we'd be 15 from goal by the time he kicks it, but he's a couple of metres in from the boundary line only. Left forward pocket.
He's got Lloydie's curse on him, though.
He runs around with the right boot and kicks a brilliant goal. Well done, Paul Puopolo. Hasn't been one of his best games, but he's kicked a couple. And Hawthorn, well, they stay perhaps with an opportunity. On the KFC scoreboard, Hawthorn moved to 12-19-91. Essendon 16-14, 110. The margin is 19 points, 21 played in this final term.
Lloydie, could they do it? I think if you're Essendon, though, one of the things you've got to be careful of, you're not trying just to play this game out and maintain possession. You've still got to keep attacking. If you can keep going forward, that's when they've looked the most dangerous, and that's when they've actually taken the game away from the Hawks. So I wouldn't be going too defensive just yet with 9 minutes to play.
And you feel like they'll open up the Hawks, you know, plenty of times in this last 5 minutes, because the Hawks have to go for it. So there'll be opportunities for the Bombers to score again.
Australia all out for exactly 300. 62 to Wade, 113 to Smith, and 56 to Warner, making a bulk of the score as the Bombers coming out of the middle. Speaking of the bulk of the score, 4-1 for Fantasia, 3-3 for Danaher, 3 to Heppel, 3 to Hooker. They are the leading goal kickers in the game. They're all on the Bombers' side of the score sheet as they go forward again. Zaharakis couldn't mark in amongst a nest of Hawks. And so back the Hawks come. Big spoil by Kelly. Stuck his knee to the middle of the Hawks' back. I don't even know who it is as Tippenwoody is marked. As the Hawk is still rolling around on the wing. As
like
Tippenwoody's played on. He gives it off to his teammate Stanton, who has a long shot, and he sent it home. Big goal to finish the game. Essendon 17-14, 116 are going to run out winners. 23 minutes gone. Hawks 12-19-91. They're not coming back from here, boys.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was important in the centre square. The Hawks get a goal. You go back into the centre square. Sean McKernan was fabulous. He won the clearance, which is his 5th for the night. He's been really impressive again. And it went to Dyson Heppel, who used the ball really well. So Heppel's had a massive last quarter, 3 second-half goals, and certainly been one of the best players on the ground. What a captain's game for the young man.
2 to Stanton now.
Yeah, and both have been given by Tip and Woody.
And long ones.
And long ones at the 50 metre. So he's enjoying himself, Stanton, another player who maybe thought his career could be over when he got that ban. So he's having some great fun.
4.5 minutes left in the game, and the margin is out to 25 points from the centre bounce. An opportunity for Henderson. Got it to Mitchell. Mitchell to Isaac Smith, but he was run down by Goddard. Picked up by Kelly, wobbles it in towards attacking 50. At the side of the pack, Collier was dispossessed, held a long time in the tackle, no free kick, picked up by Schoenmakers. Bounces it back towards the wing. Heppel in the way for the Bombers. Feeds a handball wide to Stanton. One step, beautifully placed kick. Mark taken by Goddard, 55 from goal. Kicks laterally, and Gleeson's got it at centre half forward, 55 from goal. Kicks further across the ground to Ambrose, who marks 55 from goal. So the Bombers, where does Ambrose go? He chips it up. It'll land 10 metres from goal. Gibson up, couldn't take the mark. First to recover at ground level. Dispossessed, picked up by Langford of Hawthorn. Got it to Vickery. A half handball to Hartung. Hard up against the boundary line in the back pocket. Kicks it back towards Ambrose. Sicily pushed him away out of the contest. Sicily, no eyes for the footy. And it's a free kick to Ambrose at left half forward for the Bombers.
Any change of the player of the game for Vic Super, you boys?
Well, I reckon Dyson Heppel's making a bit of a charge out of the big quite
He's
frank.
had 9 touches and 2 goals in this last quarter.
3 goals for the game, 28 possessions, 7 tackles, 133 Dream Team points for fantasy players. Just go to the AFL website, afl.com.au, or download the app as the ball is held up inside the attacking 50. But at this stage in the game, with only 3 and a bit minutes to play, what a start to the season is for the Bombers in front of 78,294, the biggest attendance so far in the 3 nights of footy here at the MCG. Magnificent stuff to start round 1 of the AFL season. Out the back door she comes. Opportunity there for the number 31, Henderson. Thank you very much. He skipped my mind there for the moment. Sicily eventually got the kick out of the danger zone. Hartley now has it. Hand pass through the legs there of Merritt. He's really made a mistake tonight. Hartley slides in on the knees and he wins possession. Hand pass to McGrath. Back to Gleeson. And the Bombers in control as they work the ball back to half back. And Heppel has it again.
Heppel, no one comes really to stand on the mark, so he waits and then kicks it back to centre half back. Mark taken by Bagley. Spreads it wide to right half back. Kelly in space, takes the mark, takes some seconds off the clock, chips it 15 metres to Goddard.
You can hear the buzz around the ground, Chris O.
Goddard kicks it short. You certainly can, Bix. Short to Langford of Essendon. He's got it centre wing. Loose player in the centre is Merritt. In fact, it's McGrath. Handball off to Heppel. 65 from goal. He drives it long towards the goal square, but Hawthorn have got the numbers. Schoenmakers on a 3-on-1 against Hooker there. And Schoenmakers marks at full back. So we'll get around the grounds to Metricom Stadium in just a moment, because that game is getting a little close. Now, a free kick meantime to Hawthorn. Sicily. Smith wanted to play on, but it's coming back to Sicily. Just 4 goals in it now. Gold Coast hitting back against Brisbane. 13-5 plays 9-5 as the Hawks work it back inside their defensive 50 to Frawley. He works it out, and the mark's taken by Duray, just backward of the wing. Now he's got some run provided by Birchall, who steadies and then delivers towards half forward. Can he find a target? McAvoy dropped the mark, should have taken it. And now an opportunity for Zaharakis. Handball to McGrath, handball to Watson. Watson chips it short, and Gleeson is marked in the true centre half-back position.
Players going down everywhere with cramp for the Bombers.
And this is where it can get dangerous too with your soft tissue. McGrath maybe have a bit more than cramp. I reckon he got a smack in the nose.
Yeah, I reckon you're right.
So he's down. Mickey Warner down in the rooms. He'll bring us a very buoyant team song for the Bombers. As Merritt again. Oh, gee, it's not a great kick, but it's come off okay. As Watson won possession. Now to Gleeson. He's got an open corridor. He's had one bounce. Could have had another. Instead, he decides to chip the ball and found only Duray, who knocked the ball down well, to Birchall, to Gibson. The old firm for the Hawks that has been under so much pressure tonight. Henderson now switches the ball across half back. Finds his teammate Schoenmakers. Goes out to Mitchell on the wing. Mitchell to Duray. Duray near the corridor. Kicks the ball long inside 50. Sicily isn't quite able to drag it in. He then trips over Heppel. Should be a free kick, and it is. And Dyson Heppel, what a finish to the game for the captain.
Zaharakis is trying to come off the ground. He's been sent back out there. He's like the Tin Man. He can't bend his knees. He's got cramp in both legs.
Yeah, this is disposal number 12 for Heppel in this last quarter.
Well, Green and McGrath is getting some treatment downstairs in the dugout. He looks okay as the ball is going to be sent downfield by Birchall. We've got 13 seconds to play. Ball's inside the attacking 50. Wait for the siren here, everyone, here on 3AW Footy. You'll be hearing it through 6PR in Perth. And there it is. Bombers win. $25 points the margin. Here you go, Lloydie. The song plays along in the background and the fans celebrate. Already the scarves are swinging around sideways. Essendon 17-14, 116 have defeated Hawthorn 12-19, 91. They join Melbourne, who defeated St Kilda by 30 points. Port Adelaide, who defeated Sydney by 28 points. Richmond by 43 over Carlton kicked us off on Thursday night. And Friday night footy saw the Western Bulldogs defeat Collingwood. Mark Bickley and Matthew Lloyd.
Just a brilliant win from the Bombers, and as I said, it's just so much emotion out there from the way that the captain for the first time, Dyson Heppel, played. I think for the way Hooker contributed, he's been banned for so long. Brent Stanton getting himself involved. I thought the debut of Andrew McGrath was just phenomenal. He was sensational. He had 22 disposals, McGrath. And then Fantasia, the players they found from last year, Bix, Fantasia, Merritt, Tip and Woody, Merritt, all guys that got so much game time that they wouldn't have normally. And just the noise, it's been electric from start to finish.
Look, it has. You mentioned the word emotion. There's no doubt that there's a lot of emotion just pouring out here. It's been a long 3 or 4 years, hasn't it? Even more, 5 years for Bombers fans. It's now behind them, and this just, I reckon it just puts an absolute exclamation mark, full stop, period, you name it. They can now look forward to having a really good year, and everything they've endured can be put behind them.
And don't they play a great brand of football, one that you just love coming to watch. For them to have 31 scoring shots, I know Hawthorn had a few too, but it was exciting football, the way they burst off half back, and I love the roar for Joe Watson, just seeing what he's been through. He's worn the brunt of all of this, and just the round of applause he got from his first shot at goal right till the end. He had a brilliant game as well, and I was wrapped for Brendan Goddard, who is also captain this side last year. He had a big game as well, 29 disposals.
Well, you're right. Some of those young players, we know Zach Merritt is just a ball magnet. He finds it. He had 26 in the first half. He ended with 37 for the match. McGrath's got pace, and he didn't look out of depth at all, and he spent time on Bruce. He spent time on Rioli and looked very good. Darcy Parish got better the longer the game went. It was just absolutely fantastic. And, of course, the young skipper in Dyson Heppel, what a game he played. 12 or 13 possessions in the last quarter. He ended with 34 disposals. A heap of contested possessions, 16 contested possessions, 3 second-half goals. He was instrumental in this victory, and he can be a very proud man tonight, what he's done with this side.
David Swallow was the late withdrawal for the Gold Coast Suns, and they are still trailing the Brisbane Lions late in the third quarter. In fact, it's got 47 seconds to go, and the margin is 23 points. So it's gettable for the Gold Coast Suns, who have closed the margin after trailing quite heavily earlier in this match. Now, we're in our review of footy. The open line is there for you. Nick Theodosi, Prestige Cars. Everybody should own a Prestige car at least once in their lifetime. So give us a call, 922-182.
I've never had a car other than from Nick Theodosi. He's an absolute superstar. So everyone deserves to have a Prestige car at some stage. So get along. Just opposite Arden Street there in North Melbourne. And the boys, Nick Senior, Nick Junior, Kane, all boys will look after you.
Now, if you'd like to tweet us at 3AW Footy or search us on Facebook, 3AW Football, that is all for Tyre Power. Buy 4 Pirelli Scorpion tyres and receive $100 Star Cash card only at Tyre Power. Christo?
Yeah, 2 quick goals, I reckon. 2 quick goals by
boy.
Gold Coast. with seconds left on the clock until three-quarter time, and the margin is back to 17 points at Metricon Stadium. So 14-5 Brisbane, Gold Coast 11-6. So they're coming back hard, Gold Coast Suns.
And just here at the MCG, the Bombers players are all going down to their cheer squad end just to say thank you pretty much for the support they've given them as well. 60,000 members at the moment, considering what they've been through. And haven't seen much success, haven't won a final for 14 years, the Bombers. So listen to the round of applause.
Well, they'd have to be happy with what they've seen tonight. And multiple goal kickers, Fantasia 4, Heppel, Hooker and Danaher all 3. Stanton kicked 2. Then McKernan and Zaharakis kicked 1 each. And for Hawthorn, 2 to Roughhead, 2 to McAvoy, 1 to Hartung, Smith, Bruce, Schoenmakers, Shields, 2 to Puopolo and 1 to Rioli. No goals in the end for the night for Jack Gunston, who was the Hawks' leading goal kicker last season with 51-33. Doesn't kick one.
We'll talk about the Bombers a lot tonight, and we're going to have so many excited callers, but I'm interested in our thoughts on Hawthorn as well. What this means, is it just one out of the box, or do we think it's going to be a long, hard year for them with what we saw? Because I think with Gunston had to play a lot of wing time tonight, whereas he wouldn't have had to do that, Bix, in the past when you've got Hodge, Mitchell and Lewis in the side.
Yeah, and you've got Hill, of course, who they've lost as well. He gives them a bit of outside run. But to me, it was more about the defence. I think they played a bit more one-on-one in defence tonight. Normally we're used to seeing Gibson and Birchall and those guys zone off a bit and become the third man in. They just weren't able to take those intercept marks we generally expect and then load up from defence. They struggled a bit and they got opened up by the Bombers. The Bombers wanted to come back through the corridor. They took them on with speed. We know that the Hawks haven't always been a fast side, but they got exposed tonight with pace from the Bombers.
Now we've got a review coming up. We've still got 52 minutes to go, and that is ahead of Rex Hunt's Footy Nightline for Tobin Brothers Funeral celebrating live. So a lot more footy chat to come your way tonight. We've got a couple of West Australian teams involved tomorrow. If you want to have your thoughts on that as we get into our review here in the match tonight. Dyson Heppel being interviewed on the ground. The Bombers have reigned supreme, and just updating at three-quarter time, it is a lead to the Brisbane Lions, cut down to only 17 points. We'll be back with all the news from the rooms. This is 882 6PR and 3AW Football.